Hello world, this is H.L. Quist, and I am the Mythbuster, and I've got an entertaining program for you today, but it's also, there's a message, a thoughtful message. But let's have some fun with this metaphor, okay? Many of you won't recall, the younger folks won't recall the sitcom, the TV sitcom, I Dream of Jeannie. This was in the 60s, starting Larry Hagman, who went on to become JR in Dallas. He went from being the good guy and the dupe for Barbara Eden to the bad guy in Dallas. And Barbara Eden, this luscious, beautiful young lady who still is, and still living, and still is very luscious anyway. So our metaphor is simply this, is that Ben-Bernanke is going to be the master who summons the inflation genie out of the bottle so she can perform her magic. And you'll remember Barbara Eden when Larry Hagman summoned her out of the bottle. Well, she would just obey all of Larry's commands, but she was very mischievous too. She would do some things, and she was always getting her master in trouble. Okay, you see the message there? Okay, so Ben-Bernanke. Here we have Ben-Bernanke, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, this very sophisticated, erudite gentleman, and also an elitist. And we've got Jeannie, just the opposite. She's a fun-loving, luscious, she's a hot lady, and she's magical, and she's alluring, and so forth. So here we have Ben-Bernanke, who's got a severe problem. And his problem simply is this: how does he get the economy going again? How does he get people back to work? And how does he improve the conditions, working conditions, and a stable monetary conditions in this country? Well, he's got a plan. He's told us what it is. He calls it quantitative easing. In fact, it's QE2. Okay? And what he needs to do and wants to do is create inflation. In fact, there's Federal Reserve Board members that want more than 2% inflation. So, our hero here is summoned out of the bottle. He wants inflation. He wants inflation to solve our economic woes at this time, which is quantitative easing is just a euphemism for print more money. Of course, you know that. But what we want to do here is that Ben-Bernanke is summoning our heroine out of the bottle, Jeannie, to perform her magic. You remember what Jeannie used to do? She'd fold her arms like this, and then she'd look in the camera, and she'd wink like that, and of course magic would happen. Well, that's what Ben-Bernanke wants her to do. Is get inflation started. And then Ben-Bernanke feels that he wants to get, of course, control her, get her back in the bottle. And eventually what Ben-Bernanke is going to do is he's going to dump Jeannie. He is not only going to dump her, he's going to discredit her. And all you're going to hear on CNBC and on the tube is that inflation bad and Jeannie's a bad girl and we've got to put her back in the bottle. But here's the catch. A woman scorned will get her revenge. And what is Jeannie going to do? She's not going to go back in the bottle. She's going to party. Jeannie is a party animal, and everybody is going to join in the party. I mean, the conditions have improved greatly in the country. Even the real estate market is improving, and manufacturers have been able to add on and increase prices. Their margins increase, and the stock market is going up. The commodity market's going up. Well, everybody wants to join the party with Jeannie. Okay. Now, what does Jeannie love? Jeannie loves gold. Jeannie loves silver. Jeannie loves platinum and palladium, all the precious metals she adorns herself. You know, precious metals and gold has come up 4 times or 400% since 10 years ago. I was in at the bottom of the market. I've enjoyed this ride. It's been tremendous. But when Jeannie starts to party, gold is going to go much higher. 2,000, 3,000. 4,000, 5,000 now. What is the limit once this party starts? And what else does Jeannie love? Jeannie loves fine clothes. Okay? And she's already working her magic. You didn't know that. The price of cotton has gone from 40 cents to over $1 in just a year and a half. She's ordered all kinds of fine clothing. That's the greatest price for cotton since the Civil War, folks. You don't think something is happening here? And last week, she turned to the commodity markets and blinked. And guess what happened? Corn was up the limit 2 or 3 days. It's closing in at $6 a bushel. Also, wheat's up the limit. Soybeans are up the whole commodity complex is up. That's Jeannie's at work. She's enjoying her blinking and having all these results. And investors love it. Investors have subscribed to her philosophy and her magic. John Deere was up tremendously. Mosaic, the fertilizer maker. Caterpillar. Investors like Jeannie. They don't want Jeannie to go back in the bottle. Then, of course, Jeannie has access to the biggest credit card in the world, the Federal Reserve. She's going to start charging and spending. What is quantitative easing? It's just printing more money, more and more money. And as that happens, the dollar falls. Gold rises. Other currencies are inflating against the U.S. dollar, the Swiss franc, the Aussie dollar, the Canadian dollar. While we're partying and having a good time, they're at a disadvantage and they don't like us partying. Okay. They're going to get angry. Something could happen there. Who knows? But in the end, what is the result of this sordid and torrid, call it a love affair or what, with Jeannie and the inflation Jeannie? Well, the first thing that happens is obvious. Ben can't control Jeannie. Inflation takes off. He loses his job. So, a woman scorned has gotten her revenge. The other is, of course, is the party ends. The party is over. All inflation cycles end. And they end in a horrible hangover known as a depression. What is going to happen here is that everybody that didn't subscribe to this or understand what was going on, they're going to suffer the consequences of this hangover. But you, if you understand this little metaphor and this little story, you will join, or you will have already joined the party, as I have, early, and get out before it's over. That's the message. And what I want you to do is go to my blog site. You can get there through Google. Just Google H.L. Quist, Q-U-I-S-T. That'll lead you to my blog and read my October Contrarian Market View, because that's the message. I don't know how long this party is going to last. A year? 2 years? 3 years? But I'll tell you one thing. I will know when it's time that the party is over. I'll know before the party is over. I told folks back in 2005 and 2006 that the real estate market was going to crash and not only affect the real estate market, but it was going to take all the markets down, the stock market, the commodity market, everything. And very few people believed what I had to say. And this has been kind of a little metaphor and kind of a lighthearted message, but it's also a serious one. I don't know how long it's going to last, but the party will end. And I want you to profit and then get the hell out of this market. Okay? This is H.L. Quist. I am the Mythbuster. Until I talk to you again, have good dreams of Jeannie.